me explain myself. Episode 3 is like you going to the store. You want to pick up Oreo cookies, your favorite cookies. When you go to the store, you buy them. You come home, take them out of the package, and it's revealed that the cookie part is there, but not the creamy whiteness in the middle. That is basically this episode. I have a love-hate relationship with this episode. Parts of me likes this episode, parts of me doesn't like this episode. And episode 3, ladies and gentlemen, what do I think of episode 3? I have some issues. Now, a lot of people, like TrevChan2, they're calling it fantastic. It's not fantastic. I think it's a step backwards. Episode 2, in my opinion, was better than this episode. Miles better. I thought this episode had a lot of problems. It felt very jumbled in a couple ways. Now, I don't have any issue with how it went. I really like the story. You know, the characters are searching for whoever killed these saviors. I think that's a very, very interesting mystery plot, and it's something that I really like in The Walking Dead. It adds a lot of drama, it adds a lot of suspense, and you really want to see what happens. But the way they handled it in this episode, some of the things that they did, I didn't really agree with. And we're going to jump right into it. First, let's get into the pros. I think still, I really was interested in the mystery plot up until the end. We're going to get in a minute. I still like the characters, the acting for the most part from the core cast is phenomenal. I like the characters. And, you know, there's a lot of other pros like the zombie effects, the gore, blah, 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 all of that. You know, the music's better, the drama's better, all of that. You know, I talked about it in my other reviews. Now let's get into the cons. 1, the grayscale. Angela Kane promised a new look for the show, and it's barely noticeable, man. It's barely noticeable. You still have this really gray, murky style to it where you can't really see much. It's all like just, it's not really pretty to look at, ladies and gentlemen. And that's one of my problems with Season 9. They promised this big new look, this new change. I don't really see it that much. It's not a very big change. It's the same grayscale that we got from Season 8, just a little bit more high definition, more a bigger budget, if you know what I mean. Something like that. All right. So another thing I don't agree with has to be the pacing of this episode. Now, the first maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes was disastrous. I had no idea what they were trying to do. Now, they had Rick talking to Michonne, and then this montage with Rick right after the commercial break. He's like on his knees, like, ooh, and the music's like, and he's like having this montage with Judith. This scene is horrid. I mean, horrid. He's at the doctor. He's like, I mean, what the heck was that? What the heck was that? And it really detracts from the rest of the episode where they're trying to find this mystery. And I just don't like that scene. I don't like the beginning where, you know, they have one part, they have the people trying to find out who's killing each other. And the problem I have is where they have different groups going in different directions. And it just, there's too many. You get a little bit too, you know, confused where everyone is. You know, is Maggie here? Daryl's over there. Carol's over there. But oh, now Maggie's here with Daryl. Then Carol's over there with Rick. Blah blah blah. What's going on here? We're going on this big search for the group, for the saviors. But then we have these saviors here, and then the saviors capture Carol, and then Rick has to save Carol, and then Maggie gets captured by some zombies. Blah blah blah. It's very suspenseful, but it's just too much, I think, for the episode. There's just too much going on where the plot strays away. Then you have this mini plot with Rick in the beginning talking to Judith, reading the book. And then you have Jadis going off with Gabriel. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You have a subplot going with her going off with Gabriel. It could have been developed a lot more. But I did think it was really interesting. I really want to see who these people are in the helicopter. Hopefully these people are related to the end game. Like, I really want to see a end goal for The Walking Dead. If these people are just other survivors, then I will be completely bored. I hope these people are like government people or something that are trying to find a cure. Hopefully, I swear to God, please make them like someone that can like end the show. I want this group to be the ones that are responsible for the end of the show. If they're not, I don't know what we're going to do. I really enjoyed, like I said, the whole mystery plot. But the problem was the beginning of the episode where Rick was talking to Judith. It felt really crammed in there. It really detracted from the rest of the episode. That montage in the beginning was really, really poorly executed, poorly done, poorly directed, and it could have easily been cut from the episode. They just wanted to cram in a moment with Judith and Rick. It didn't work. I'm sorry. It did not work, Trev. It did not work. Let's get back to it. Maggie, there's groups everywhere. This new character that was introduced, I believe, in episode 2. His name is Mud. That's his nickname. He's like, you're the widow. I don't like the Saviors. I've never bought the Saviors. I don't like these characters. I miss when people were actually scary, where they were actually like real villains. Now they're like little cartoony characters. It's only the Saviors. Most of the other characters talk better. It's just I have a problem with these Saviors, man. These little Saviors. When he takes the tomato, he bites it. Ooh, he's so evil. Ooh, he bites tomato. That's one of the problems I have. And I know I'm getting a little bit too crazy, but I actually really enjoyed episode 2. And episode 3, it just feels all over the place. Now, yes, episode 2 had a lot going on as well. Episode 3, though, just feels everywhere. There's a moment where one of these characters is knocked out, and then there's another. There's a part with the woods, and they're looking around, and there's someone dead on the ground. Blah blah blah, and then a rat is dead at the end. Spoiler alert: a rat is killed at the end by the Oceanside. My problem with this whole murder plot is the Oceanside. I shrugged when I found out it was the Oceanside. I mean, that was so anticlimactic. We never really got a lot of development from these characters before. These characters were really never developed. And for them to be the ones killing off the Saviors, I just felt like it was anticlimactic. I thought it was going to be the Whisperers or someone else, someone more interesting. But nevertheless, they killed them off. And I just felt like it was just, I was like, meh. So, I mean, I don't really care about the Oceanside. They're one of my least favorite groups. They probably are my least favorite group. And the Oceanside, I shrugged because I didn't really expect them to be the ones to kill the Saviors. And it was disappointing in my opinion. I was pretty disappointed. I actually thought it was going to be Rick. We were going to be tricked. Do you know how cool it would have been if Rick was the one that killed the Saviors? What if Rick has been suffering from PTSD? During the day, he's all calm and he wants to work together, but at night, he has dreams. He has nightmares about these Saviors killing his daughter, Judith. So his mind kind of rushes. It kind of goes all over the place, and he goes into crazy mode, and he kills the Saviors, but he doesn't really want to tell anyone else, yet about about what he's done. But he's killed the Saviors, but he doesn't really want to announce it to everyone else. That would have been really, really interesting, but I know I don't think it would have worked because Rick is dying in episode 5, so I don't think it would have worked as well. But I think that would have been very, very interesting. So I think this episode is a jumbled mess. You have Jadis, and she's there with Father Gabriel. She knocks him out. There's just so much going on, so many characters being introduced. You got the guy in the helicopter being introduced for the first ever time. I feel like the show's actually going really, really fast. Too fast, in my opinion. Now, a lot of other people may disagree. Now, this is a good change of pace for some people, but for me, it's going a little too fast. And yeah, I'm a Gimple hater. I expected someone else to be the ones behind the killing of the Saviors. It was just very anticlimactic, in my opinion. Finding out that the Oceanside, they're the people that killed the Saviors. I just don't like the Oceanside. I know it's sad that a rat killed them, her family, but we never really learned that before, ladies and gentlemen. So it just comes off as anticlimactic. So what am I going to give this episode? I'm going to give this episode a B. It wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't a good episode. It was just in between. I had some problems with it. I had some good cons with it. But, pros. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. There's pros with it, and then there's cons with it. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I give this episode a B. What do you think of the episode? Let me know down below. Subscribe. Do whatever the heck you want to do, and goodbye. Bye, everyone.